Hdale was the birthplace of Highlights for Children. The founders were two lifelong educators, Dr. Gary Cleveland Myers and his wife Carolyn Clark Myers. In June 1946, they published the first issue of Highlights magazine with a staff of three, the two of them and a secretary and a designer who worked remotely. And Highlights is the iconic children's magazine that almost everyone remembers. It's the most widely circulated. We've served 1 billion copies of Highlights magazine over the years, more than 1 billion actually. Well, in addition to serving 2 million children, paid subscribers every month with our magazines, we are serving millions of children worldwide. Highlights is unique in that it's not just about helping kids grow in basic skills and knowledge. We do that. We publish fiction and nonfiction, puzzles and thinking activities, but we focus on the whole child. We're interested in the child's cognitive development, their social emotional learning, their physical development, and even their spiritual development. We're not a religious magazine, but we do want children to understand that there are some things that are more important than the material things of this world. And so we do have an emphasis on that as well. So we talk about serving the whole child. We are a family-owned company. And so they knew that their family would continue the mission. But I think they would be very surprised to see just the scope of the business and how far we've been able to take their message that children are the world's most important people, and the more we attend to them, the better society is for all of us.
Wayne Memorial Hospital was pretty much built by the community. Almost 100 years ago, in 1920, the community wanted a hospital and raised $52,000 to open a hospital in an old mansion on Court Street here in Hdale. Then in 1951, they came together again and they moved the hospital to a bigger location, its current location on Park Street. And in 2005, we built a 10,000 square foot emergency department, and right now, in 2018 and 2019, we will have finished an 85,000 square foot private room patient tower. So the new tower will encompass a lot of new technology. There'll be 50 private patient rooms, which of course will help with infection control and privacy, confidentiality, that type of thing. They'll be quite spacious. There'll be a lot of new technology, whiteboards in patient rooms. You know, there are a lot of bells and whistles in hospitals. You won't hear so many bells and whistles. A lot of it will be, you know, technology that tells you who's walking into your room, and it'll light up on the board.
In any rural community, a hospital is key to patient survival, is key to patient outcomes. In our coverage area, for example, it's 100 miles from north to south of coverage, and even more expansive if you go east to west. People getting access to care, especially in an emergency situation, really will make a difference on how their outcome is. And right now we're one of probably 66 hospitals in Pennsylvania that have that small hospital designation or rural hospital status. And those hospitals right now are really struggling to keep their doors open. It is really a different environment, and unfortunately it's hard sometimes to bring services in those rural communities. Wayne Memorial has been fortunate enough to be able to do our expansion project, because that expansion project is going to bring some new services to us. And one area that we're very excited about is to be able to bring some specialty services in via telemedicine capabilities. And right now we have some limited telemedicine functions. We have a telestroke program. If a patient arrives at our emergency room having signs or symptoms of a stroke, within 10 minutes we're contacting a neurologist who is able to dial in, actually examine the patient, talk with the patient, speak with the physician right in the emergency room. So the program has been instrumental in helping save lives and to quickly administer what's known as the clot buster drug, which has had really positive outcomes on these patients who are suffering from a particular type of stroke that is very devastating.
The Stourbridge Project is an exciting opportunity that's a collaboration among the county, WEDCO, which is Wayne Economic Development Corporation, and Wayne Pike Workforce Alliance. We have a co-working space, a business incubator, and a prototyping lab. The goal of the Stourbridge Project is to help grow technology businesses and technology jobs in Wayne County. Well, you certainly see the past, the present, and the future coming together at the Stourbridge Project. The co-working space is a fabulous resource for those individuals who need access to technology. We have workstations and a common work area. So an individual can come into the building with a design idea. We'll connect them with a resource to be able to bring that design to fruition within software, so electronically in CAD or SolidWorks, and then to help them decide what prototyping process is best for that product. If the entrepreneur is more of a service or a IT software type organization, then we have the resources in the building for them to be able to develop their software, and we also have audio and digital capacities. Well, one of the things about Wayne County that many people might not know is it's always been entrepreneurial. But then over time, like many communities, when we had industrialization, a large company will come in and people start to just work for that company. And not as many people are entrepreneurial then because they have these steady jobs. In this day and age, with the way work is changing, it's a wonderful opportunity for people who want to be entrepreneurs to get back into that type of a mindset. So we're really trying to focus to reinvigorate the entrepreneurial mindset and going to move it from the subconscious of Wayne County back to the conscious of the people here, because they're already entrepreneurial.
The cooperage is it's a barrel making factory. It's now restored on Main Street in Honesdale. It was opened in the late 1800s by the McCanna family, and it sat vacant for a number of years right on Main Street in Honesdale, and our founders restored the building, and it's a beautiful performance space, it's a gathering space, it's just a wonderful community hub right on Main Street. We opened our doors of June of 2012, and we're just so amazed at how the community has really embraced the mission of the Cooperage Project and all of the programs and the events that we host at the building, but in the community as well. I love that the space is kind of a blank slate. So if people want to try out a fundraising opportunity or even a small business opportunity or a lecture or book signing and reading, it's a space that people can not have their own space to have to work in. They can use our space as a blank slate, make it their own, see what needs to be kind of tweaked or changed with their idea, and then see how it blossoms. And not every community has that meeting space, that gathering space, but that really strengthens the community.
Agritourism is any establishment, any farm, any ranch, any place where agriculture takes place that it opens their doors to visitors in a myriad of ways, whether that's for educational purposes or some sort of activity or for financial reasons for a business that's separate from the agriculture too. So there's a lot of agritourism around here. The challenge of being in agriculture is greater than ever because of climate change, because of all the things that are happening, in our environment. So my hope is that as we go forward in Wayne County, agriculture, though it's challenging, that people will support it even more. And I think agritourism helps to publicize that we do grow things, we do raise animals. On our farm we raise grass-fed beef, and that's a small part of it. I raise flowers, that's a small part of it. We have weddings, so you kind of have to think outside the box a little bit and invite people on the property to see what it's all about and hopefully appreciate it and support other farms and local places too.
History of the Wayne County Farmers Market. I think we were a farmers market before farmers markets were cool. Back in 1976, I believe it was, a group of local farmers decided they wanted to take their produce right to the customer. So they set up some booths and tables in a parking lot at a gas station on Main Street and started selling their produce and their wares. That's 42 years, so there's a lot of changes in everything. People have become more aware. They want sustainability, they want fresh, they want local. And I think the farmers market, Wayne County Farmers Market has done that. I think one of our most valuable assets are our farmers that will talk to you about anything, how to grow anything, when to plant your garlic, or what to do if your tomatoes aren't doing well, or how to cook kohlrabi, things like that. So we do try and answer customers' needs and customers' questions. People are realizing that you get what you pay for, and if you want a cauliflower that's been picked days and days ago, and sprayed with pesticides, sat in a warehouse, shipped 1,000 miles, and comes to you like that, well, yes, you can get that, but you won't get that at the market. That cauliflower that you're buying from us was in the ground 12 hours ago up the road.
It's collaboration with the community, being a part of the community. I used to say this a lot, and I still think about it. I could have had a roastery anywhere. I could have had the same product, the same quality, but I chose to actually create a space for the community because I wanted a place where people could come together and speak and mingle and meet and experience other works of art from the local community. And that ties into the history of coffee. The ancient cafes were the places where philosophers would gather and where ideas and culture would really bubble up and boil over something as simple and as elegant as a fresh cup of coffee. And that's what I wanted to create. And Hdale welcomed Black and Brass and our team with open arms immediately.
The Hotel Wayne was built, completed in 1827 to accommodate the needs of the owners, managers, and workers of the D&H Canal, which was being built at that time. The Hotel Wayne building is as it was rebuilt in 1895. It's a registered historic building, so we really can't make any structural changes without approval, which we wouldn't want anyway. There is no elevator in the Hotel Wayne. Our staff helps people carry up the bags, and that's the way it is. Because the Hotel Wayne is truly a historic piece of Hdale in Wayne County. Some people call it iconic, and we have no desire nor intention to make any changes in the condition of the building other than upgrading the restaurant, which we've been doing from time to time. It's also, as a hotel, it's also been an operating restaurant for almost 200 years, which is quite remarkable for the restaurant business.
The site where Van Gorder's Furniture stands in Hdale, the corner of Church and 6th Street, was actually the site of the very first house ever built in Hdale. In 1823, the land was purchased by Samuel Kimball, and a wood plank cabin was erected there. Some years later, the land was bought by William Weaver, and the National Hotel was built in 1868. And he built it with 27 rooms, a ballroom, opera house on the 2nd floor, and a stable to hold 110 horses next door, where you could actually walk in and enter the hotel on the 2nd floor from the livery. The hotel and the furniture store was actually a silk mill for a short while in the 1930s. And in 1938, my great-grandfather Ralph Van Gorder bought the building to house his growing furniture business. We try to live up to our local surroundings and, you know, deal in a hometown type of manner, honest sales and no gimmicks. And, you know, we preserve the history of the building as well with keeping the original wood floors on 2nd and 3rd floors, and it's a trip through history when you walk through the store too.
So the original Garage Mix candy is a combination of Virginia Redskin salted peanuts and the old-fashioned Necco chocolate babies. So it's simply 2 ingredients, peanuts and chocolate. Back in the 1920s, on Main Street in Hdale, there was a Studebaker garage. Across the street from the Studebaker garage was Van Duzen's candy shop. The 2 mechanics that worked at the Studebaker garage would frequent Van Duzen's candy store. One of the mechanics favored the Virginia Redskin salted peanuts. The other one enjoyed the Necco chocolate babies. So the 2 mechanics began mixing the blend in their garage as they worked on the Studebakers. There were stories of they would mix it together in a tin on a running exhaust manifold of a Studebaker. So the blend would slowly warm, and that would allow the salt from the peanuts to blend onto the chocolate, and creating this amazing combination of sweet and salty, which who doesn't love sweet and salty? My husband and I go out and do fairs and festivals year-round, and we have this big food truck, which we affectionately call the Wonka Wagon. It's just something that gets us out, and we get to meet new people and actually take Honesdale to other areas. We just did the Bloomsburg Fair for the very first time in September, and what was funny for us there was that a lot of people didn't even know about the Necco chocolate babies or the chocolate change, just because some of them had never even had it in Honesdale or knew about Honesdale. So I feel like wherever we go, we get to share Honesdale with other people, because we're very hometown, small town proud people, and we like to invite people to Honesdale or have a connection to Honesdale.
Honesdale for me is kind of a living Norman Rockwell painting. It's still that Main Street of America, that small town feel. Everybody knows everybody. You still, community involvement. Everybody loves what they do, living in the area.
To me, Honesdale means community. And the thing I love about Honesdale is that we're all working together.
Honesdale is a great place to live and to raise a family.
Oh, the community. Really the community and how friendly people are. And I worked in Scranton for many years, and people would come, my friends would come to Honesdale and they'd say, I never saw a town where people stop the car to let you pass on the street. It's just a regular occurrence here. That's what we do.
And I would say what I enjoy about Honesdale more than anything else is the good fellowship of Honesdale.
We care about the people around us and they care about us.
I love where I live, I love where I work, and I've got the best of everything, I feel.
Honesdale is just the perfect town to me.
We enjoy the area, we love the people. It's just a great place for recreation, great place for history, and a great place to live. So it's our new home, and we're happy to be here.
Honesdale has a lot of community pride, and at the same time, everybody is very down to earth.
It's a wonderful place to bring children up.
I think it's a loving community for everyone who comes into it, even if it wasn't their home to start with and their family didn't live here originally, and that it's able to eventually become their home because it embraces everyone regardless from where they came from or where they possibly moved from.
I'm proud to live here. I was proud to have been mayor, and I just find Honesdale a wonderful place to call home.
Honesdale is hope. It's a hope for something greater. It's a hope for something greater than ourselves. It's a hope that a spirit of love and community not only survives, it thrives.
We love each other. It's just a nice community. I never would have expected to claim this as home and plan to retire here and spend the rest of my days, but my wife and I have just fallen in love in the past 11 years with Honesdale.